Read Into It with Robin, a virtual book club.
Everyone, good morning. Welcome back to the Virtual Book Club, the space where we talk about books that are thought-provoking and maybe challenge us a little bit. I think that's definitely going to happen with today's book, which is called How to Break Up with Your Phone. I mean, I'm curious to know what hits you as soon as you hear that phrase, how to break up with your phone. I think it just hits a little too close to home because most of us really use our phones pretty often. I know I can speak for myself when I say that I use my phone constantly. And there are a lot of good things that come up with using your phone. And then there's some of the other stuff that I don't think we like to think about. So give me a minute. I'm just going to invite Miriam to come and join me here in this conversation. Hold on one second, please. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I want to read something to you from this book, okay? I don't know if you have ever read it before, but this really stood out to me. It's talking about how most of the hours that we spend on our phones are not really in concentrated thought, right? Most of the time that we're on our phone, we're really just like scrolling and swiping. Hi, Mary. I'm just going to into the book.
Correct.
I'm just going to share with something that really stood out to me, which was that we're not just getting distracted by our phones; we're constantly like using them. So we're not just focusing; we're like constantly being distracted. So it's an interesting phrase that stood out to me, where the result is what seems like should be an oxymoron: an intensely focused state of distraction. And I think that anyone who uses their phone as much as I do can definitely relate to that. Like an intensely focused distraction, like you're just out of it. But even when you're in this like focused state, you're not even focusing on any one thing. So we'll talk a little bit about that and about the book. So thanks for being here today. I know we were really supposed to do this a couple months ago, and then the holidays got in the way. And anyway, here we are today. So that's the main part. Okay, so I guess if you want to start off, because I know you were the one who initially suggested this book to me. So if you want to start off just by giving like your impressions of the book and what stood out about it to you.
Sure. I mean, I think for me personally, the phone has always been like a love-hate relationship because, it offers you so much, right? There's everything at your fingertips. First of all, I do believe it can be used for good things. And that's what I like about this book. It's not saying don't use your phone ever again. It's saying like create a new relationship with your phone, right? So it's not like go throw your phone out and get a dumb phone. Like the reality is that's not realistic. We kind of need our phones and in this day and age.
That's a good point. So anyone who's joining and is like, oh, now they're going to make me like not need my phone anymore or not on my phone anymore. Like, no, that's not the goal.
Yeah.
I know I can answer this like for myself, but I'm going to ask you like, what's the biggest benefit that you get from your phone?
It's a really good question. I mean, I think it in a way like it does help with connection to other people, right? Like we wouldn't have met if it wasn't for Instagram. I did make a lot of relationships and connections through Instagram.
Yeah.
So I think that's, I think
but it's a little scary, I think, to say that because we're also kind of saying that you don't have like real connections through that. But then like, that's not true. Like we have a connection and like there are other connections that I've made also. And not only that, but even like when I was making a wedding and like I needed a makeup artist or a hair person, like I found them via Instagram.
Right.
Like, so it could be really helpful. It really can. So,
for sure.
If you need a party planner, you need whatever you need, like you can find so many things. Even I was looking to buy like modest swimwear. If anybody has like suggestions, like DM me. But I was like, wait, I'm just going to check on Instagram. Like you can go to a hashtag, like there were influencers who were posting things. I'm like, who is posting? Like, where can I find this? Instagram, it's like the catalog of life. You can find everything. Okay, 100%. So then with that said, I'm gonna say what's the hardest part? Like now that we know all the good stuff about it, right? What's the hardest part of putting down your phone or shutting your phone? Like sometimes I'm gonna close my phone for an hour. It's really hard. So what do you find hard about that?
I mean, I think what I found interesting about the book is that it talks about how the app, I'm thinking a lot about Instagram because we're on it right now. And I think personally, that's the app that I use the most. It talks about how these apps, and not just Instagram, but other social media apps, even WhatsApp and Facebook, they're created to keep us addicted to it, right? There's research that goes into these apps that are specifically made so that we continue to go back and we continue to use it more and more and it actually correlates or compares Instagram to a slot machine. like for real, right? Because you're scrolling,
Yes.
you don't
Yeah.
know what you're going to get. You don't know what the next image is going to be. And it's like this surprise, like it's like a dopamine every single time you're on the app, it's something else.
Yeah.
And to me,
It's so true.
that part is scary because we think we're in control, but we're not really in control, right? And
Yeah. Yeah.
um, and I
I
think
think
the
the more you
purpose
read
of
the
this book
book,
is,
yes.
sorry, what?
Yeah. No, I was gonna say exactly what you're saying. Like the more you read the book, you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm being controlled. Like
Yeah,
this is scary.
it's scary,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
So it's about
Yeah.
like creating this new relationship where you get to call the shots, right? And
Yes.
hopefully you're the one that stays in control because sometimes I'm on Instagram and I'm looking at reels and I'm like, I don't know this person. Why am I taking in this information? And sometimes the information is really not good for you, right? Like you're watching these things that you wouldn't normally see if you didn't have the app. And it does affect you. It goes into your subconscious and you find yourself, that's why they say the Instagram can really cause anxiety, depression, and all these things because
Yeah.
you're internalizing things that you wouldn't internalize if not for the app.
Exactly.
So
So did you have like an aha moment that you realized like I think actually my phone is kind of using me versus like the other way around. Because another one of the things that this author mentions in her book is about how like we become the consumer. Like we start as the consumer and we become the creators and the consumers. Like it ropes you in every way possible. Rachel noted that Insta and Facebook should have stock mode where you can scroll and not accidentally like something. Oh my gosh. Definitely.
right.
Definitely. And actually, I read things like that again, and I'm not super like tech savvy, but I have read things where like everyone can see your likes, and I'm like much more cautious. Like, guys, if I like one of your posts, like, I really like it because I am like cautious about what I like because I'm like, everyone can track me. Like,
Right.
not everyone has to know everything that I
Right.
like on Instagram. It's like too much insight, I need a little bit of like
Too invasive.
space. Yeah. So
Yeah.
at some point, back to that point of like, at what point, or did you have a point where you realized like, oh my gosh, I'm just like, they're using me. Like the phone is actually using me instead of me using my phone at my will for what I want, when I want, the phone's using me.
Yeah. I think my aha moment, and I often have these moments, and this is embarrassing to say, but I can't be the only one, is when I'm driving and I have my kids in the car and I find myself looking at my phone. And it's like, what am I doing? I have 3 kids in the back. It is so crazy unsafe. And they talk about that in the book, and she talks about something called popcorn brain, where you don't even realize what you're doing. And that is terrifying, right?
Yeah.
Because for, like you take your eye off the road for a second and like, God forbid, right? And like,
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah. And you don't
yeah,
need that's the scariest part. That's such an aha moment of like, my phone is using me. Like, I'm not even realizing I'm picking it up. Like, oh my gosh, what am I even picking it up for? Like, I don't need any information now. It's such a habit.
right.
It's such a habit and so wired in the brain. It's actually scary.
Yeah,
So here's the thing though, because because we're doing that all the time, right? So when you were reading this and in the back, like half the book is giving you a lot of information, and then she also has an actual like step-by-step guide of how to break up with your phone, like
right.
actually week by week, which I think is really cool. Actually, one of the first steps she wrote was like installing an app, a tracking app. So mine is embarrassing because there's 2 things that I do.
Apps
So
don't
first of
really
all,
work so well. Like, unfortunately, I don't know
I
about you.
know. So when I use Opal, somebody suggested
I
Opal
have
to me.
Opal too.
Okay, so Opal I like because I think I
Yeah,
have like a self-competitive piece in me that like if I set like Opal and like I'm not going to touch my phone for 25 minutes or certain apps on my phone, I won't. I never break Opal. That's like, I guess that's my superpower. Like if
right.
but I also have like a limit on Instagram and that I break all the time. I don't know why I'm more comfortable breaking that than
Right. It's
Opal,
like
but
you
that I'll
spend
break all the
45
time.
minutes on your phone on
Yes.
this app. You should close it right now. And I'm like, okay, I'm not. So
Yeah.
like, I'll just,
5 more minutes. Tell me in 5 more
right.
minutes. I always stop 5 more minutes. Oh my gosh, it's terrible.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I'm curious, like what surprised you the most as you started trying to break up with your phone? Or trying to change your phone habit. Let's say change your phone habits, okay? Because I think that sounds a little less threatening than like break up with your
Yeah.
phone. We're not like, let's be real, like we're not breaking up with our phones. But could we change our phone habits? Like what surprised you the most when you started doing that?
So I think number one is just how hard it is. Like it's this small, tiny thing that is just, it's hard to put down. It really is. I think that's number one. Number two is when I actually did it, And I can't say I stuck with it, but how much more time I had to do the things that are really important, right? Like, you don't realize, like, the time that you spend on your phone, you can be doing so many more things that are so much more productive and make you feel so much better, right? Because the instant gratification and the instant dopamine, it feels good for a minute, but after you get off your phone, it's like this massive drop, as opposed to something you're going to do that's going to give you like the long-term dopamine effect, like going on a walk or even cleaning your house or spending time with your kids. That's another big one, right? Which is sad. And, you know.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is that sometimes I even will put my phone away and then like my kids will ask me a question or they'll need something and I can only get the information from my phone. So a lot of times recently I'm just like, I don't have my phone near me and like I leave it at that. I used to actually go get like my kid needs something. Like, so I'm going to go get my phone to get the answer or to check the email. And now I'm like, I'll check it later, you know, because I definitely am trying to reduce the screen time for sure. But it happened to me that last night I left my phone in the car. I couldn't find it. I could not find my phone. I was looking all over for it. I even checked the car. I checked like the car doors, both sides, passenger, driver, wasn't there. Could not find it anywhere. And so, okay, I was like folding a bunch of laundry and cleaning up the kitchen. And usually I like to like multitask. So while I'm doing that, I enjoy speaking on the phone, not like necessarily using apps, but like at least let me like speak on the phone in the meantime. I couldn't do that. So I was just like really like engaged. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is like bringing me back like 15 years. Like, remember when I just used to like do the task and again, nothing wrong with talking on the phone. I didn't have access to my phone. And again, once you're talking on the phone, very likely you'll also pick it up. You'll also check a text. You'll also answer that text, different text, right? Like you just kind of start snowballing. So it was just like for a few minutes, I just had this like, wow, I'm all in. Like that level of mindfulness is so different. And I'm not suggesting that people have to be like all mindful all the time. No, it's okay. You don't have to do that all the time. But it was very interesting. And anyway, I found the phone this morning. I was like, wait, it's gotta be in the car. There's nowhere else. And I went back to the car and like reached deep into the side pocket. And I'm like, no, it's here. But I enjoyed the little break from it. And I hope that anybody that I didn't respond to, you know, your text. Well, that's another issue. I think
that's another
like,
issue,
pressure,
right? Because you don't need to respond. Like, the reality is that unless it's like urgent, it's okay to not respond, right? Like, it's okay to, you know, people will be okay. And I think most people understand.
Yeah, but I'm curious if anyone's like listening to this conversation, like I would want to know if someone doesn't respond to your text, like do you get annoyed at them? Like, are you like, hello, like why are they not answering? Like we're so used to getting that not instant, but like at least within the hour, like to not respond. Like if I'm closing my phone at 7 p.m., I don't know. I think people don't find that acceptable. Like usually acceptable. But I don't know. Do you agree? I want to hear like, I'm curious.
Yeah. Or I wonder if people get anxiety, like, oh my God, is she angry at me or is she upset at me or what, you know, like, why is she not answering? Are we okay? Are we good? Right?
Yeah.
I think it needs to be, or it should be like more acceptable that like, we don't need to answer things right away. Like we have so many things going on. And when we talk about the nervous system, like, you know, I don't think feeling the need to like respond every second is good for us.
Right. But we have to balance that with like our social obligations and social norms. So, oh, it gets tricky. It does get tricky. I'm wondering like maybe I should even like as a WhatsApp, you know, like you can write something under your WhatsApp, like maybe I should write like, you know, not checking text till 9 a.m. tomorrow or like, whatever. It's not you. It's not personal. It's just like, I'm just trying to like ease off my phone time. And hopefully like, I also like one of my goals is like to get better sleep. And I think I've been doing a lot of work on it over the past few months, but even since the summer. But yeah, I think still need to work on like closing my phone down a lot earlier.
Yeah, that's a really good idea, though. I like that. It's like put it as your WhatsApp status, like not responding to texts until tomorrow morning or something like that.
Yeah, just to let people know like, it's not personal.
And then I'm curious also about sleeping. Like, where do you put your phone when you go to sleep?
Okay.
You know, like that's a really important one because I know my phone is right near my bed. Which people say is really actually like not great for you, even health-wise, because of the whatever is emitted from your phone, EMF, or I don't know if I'm saying it right, but like holistic people know what I'm talking about. Apparently it's not great for you, like to sleep right near your phone. So I think that's also a habit that is probably worth thinking about, right? Because like you wake up in the middle of the night, you're going to reach for your phone at like 12 o'clock at night, which is,
Yeah. Yeah.
again, not healthy.
Yeah. So most nights I try shutting my phone completely, even if it's next to me, like I'll put it on the floor, but I do try to shut it off completely. There were a few nights where I would keep it like downstairs on a different floor from my bedroom, and I felt like a superstar. Like in the morning, I was like, wow, like that was amazing. I need to do more often, which I actually really do. But like I felt so good about myself. I think it was like in a way that idea that I was saying before, like you're taking back your power. Like the phone's not using me, my
Right.
iPad's not using me. Like
Yeah.
I claim my power. Like I am shutting you down, and I'm putting you downstairs, and I will come back for you when I want to.
Right.
And so it was like a very empowering feeling, and I actually really felt good about myself. Again, I need to do
Music.
it much more, you know. But
Right.
yeah, it's a work in progress. What do you think we lose, like when we're constantly connected? Because since most of us do have our phones like practically like a third arm, and we're on our phones all the time, like so, and we said the benefits of it, right? There are good connections that come out of it. What do you think we lose when we're constantly connected?
I mean, I think we lose the little moments, right? Like being mindful and like just noticing things. Like if you're outside and you're looking at your phone, think about what you're missing out on. You're not like feeling the sun on your face. You're not noticing like what the weather is, or like you're not hearing the birds chirping, right? Like just the small moments, we're
Yeah.
really missing out on those.
Yeah, that's true. And I feel like those pleasures that you have in your day, and this is actually something that I'll work on sometimes with clients, like the sense of self peace, like the pleasures that you allow yourself to enjoy, it gives you like a certain level of awareness. Like this is something I like. This is
Yeah.
right. It's just again almost like an empowering thing. Like you get to reclaim your life, which
Hmm.
sounds maybe like a lot, but it's true.
It's very
Um,
true. I think
yeah.
like intentionality, right? Like is super important. Even when
Yeah.
it comes, and it does talk about this in the book, like once you like, change the relationship, and it talks about different ways to do that. And then when you start to reconnect again with your phone, it's like, who do you want to be following on Instagram? And
Mhm.
who do you not want to be following? I think I noticed recently, you could put like certain words into Instagram that you don't want to see. So if you don't want to see like all these negative things, and there are so many sad things on Instagram that are people share that, yes, you want to have empathy, but you also don't need to be seeing that all the
Mm.
time. So you can put certain words into Instagram to make sure that, that's not,
Okay.
I mean,
So that's cool. Like you can protect yourself.
yeah.
Okay. Again,
Mhm.
yeah, I like that. I like that because you're taking back, that space. So what you just said just struck that idea of, right? So imagine if you put your phone away, right? I mean, as I guess as Orthodox Jews, if you're a Shabbos observer, you're doing that every weekend. You're closing your phone for the at least 26 hours, right?
Mhm.
So anyone who's done that, I want you to think to yourself, like, what's the first thing that I check when I open my phone? Like, what's the first thing I want to do? And I'm even going to build onto that. Like, what if you shut your phone for like a whole week? If you're like, I'm going on vacation, I'm shutting my phone, or I'm not going on vacation, I'm going
Right.
on vacation in my own life, I'm going on vacation from my phone, and
Right.
I shut my phone for a week, right? By the end of the week, like tap into yourself for a moment. What would you be so ready to see? What would you be really excited for? Do you know what you
Hmm.
would be like waiting for?
I don't know. I'm curious. What would you be excited to see? I have to
I
like
think,
think about that for a second.
yeah, I'm not sure either. I think recently, actually, more and more, I'm less excited. Like,
Hmm.
I used to be, what did I used to be excited for more? I don't even know. Like, now when I think about it, I'm like, what do I need to see? Like,
Right.
what do I need to see that's so
Right.
important
There's
to me,
nothing that's
right?
that important. I actually find myself sometimes after Shabbos, like, I don't want to look at my phone right now.
Yeah,
Like, I
yeah,
kind of like this. Like, I just want to be
yeah,
with my kids and like clean up the house. And like, because I know once I get my phone, like, I'm going to be sitting there scrolling and
yeah.
wasting time.
So actually, for a long time, I would just keep my phone off from Moshe Shabbos until Sunday morning. And I'd be like, I don't need it until Sunday morning. Like, there's nothing urgent
Wow.
now. Like,
That's major, though.
yeah, it was really
Impressive.
nice. It was really, really, really nice. Yeah, I liked it a lot. I will say that anybody who, because like, again, this book kind of got us started talking on the topic. So anybody who wants to read more about it, like, I really highly recommend it. I can't say I read the whole thing word for word, but this is what I want to get better at. And if anybody wants to like join me, you can like DM or text me. But like, there's a week by week guide in how to change your phone usage. So if you want to do that, go on that journey, like definitely let us know
Yeah.
if you actually do, because it's like even as we're talking, I'm like, wait, we have like a big responsibility now. Like you
Right.
gotta put your money where your mouth is, Like, we gotta get better at this. So no one who's listening to us should think that we're like experts at like
We're totally, I mean, I can't speak for you, but I know that I am not. This
yeah,
is a major work in progress for me.
yeah,
But I know that
exactly.
before we got onto this call, we were chatting and I was saying, I remember like years ago, I had two clients that massively changed their phone habits. One was like an adult who got a flip phone for a while, and the other one was actually a teenager, which I found so fascinating that she like took it upon herself. She's like, I want to spend as least time on my phone as possible. And
Mm-hmm.
she went on this journey and like, to me, I was so impressed.
Yeah,
And I think for them, it was really life changing.
yeah,
Again, obviously, I think your relationship with your phone is going to change over time. Um, but I think I think it's almost like we can't not think about it, because what happens is when you don't think about it, you lose control with
right.
this addictive piece of technology, because that's really what it is. And I think it's interesting though, because as therapists, right, who have Instagram accounts and are putting all this content out there that we want people to see, it's almost like this weird oxymoron. Like we want you to
Mm-hmm.
look, but don't look, or like
Yeah,
be
yeah.
careful, don't get too hooked on the app. And I almost feel like some of it should come with a disclaimer, like, look at our content, but also, manage screen time and
Okay, I love that
you
you're
know,
saying it because you're kind of like calling us out here, right? Like,
yeah,
hi, we're
totally.
therapists. We have Instagram accounts, so but don't look at it. Don't use Instagram too much. But really, so
Right.
I agree with you. It kind of sounds like an oxymoron. Like, what are we saying? But it's really not, because what we're saying is use it intentionally, use it in a way
Yeah.
that serves you, and even you'll find within Instagram therapist accounts that or therapists who have accounts on Instagram, you'll find that people. I know I've said this before. Like my content, not every post I put out there applies to everybody. So
Right.
even when you're following someone that you like and you appreciate their advice or their words or their content, at the end of the day, they might put something out that doesn't resonate with you, and that's okay. Like, so then you can be really mindful of how you're taking it in. But overall, I would say to what you're saying, to your point, which is so true and so amazing, that follow mindfully. Like, if
Yeah.
someone's content doesn't speak to you or makes you feel worse about yourself, you don't have to follow them.
Right.
Like, if you like my content, if you like Miriam's content, then like, of course, follow us, engage with us. Like,
Right.
if it's helpful to you, we have benefit from Instagram. We have benefits from social media. But if it's in any way not benefiting you, that's where you want to reclaim your power. Like, that's where you want to be able to say, I'm going to use my phone in a way that benefits me,
Hmm.
and I'm not just going to get sucked into this like
Yeah.
rabbit hole, even if it's good stuff, even if it's like therapist stuff. If it's not
Right.
serving you, it's not serving you.
Yeah. And again, I don't necessarily think, yeah, exactly to your point. I think it's not necessarily the therapist content that's an issue. It's you go on, let's say, to look at a certain therapist content that resonates with you, let's just say, but then you get stuck on the app because you scroll and you see something else, and then you see something
Mm-hmm.
else, and you see something
Right.
else on,
Right.
not just that person's content that you went on to see.
Yeah.
So it's like this intentionality. Like, okay, I'm going to go on her account, I'm going to look at her stuff for 5 minutes, and then I'm going to go off of it, right? Like that would be a healthier, way of
Exactly.
going about it.
Exactly. All right. So I guess we're going to wrap up with that idea that Catherine Price, the author, her message is not about ditching your device, and neither is ours, right? It's about reclaiming our attention, reclaiming our time, and honestly, reclaiming our peace of mind. So that's what we're, bringing awareness to. That's why we're talking about it, being very vulnerable and human and honest and open. We're all in this together,
Yeah.
but we definitely would recommend, both of us would recommend this book because it's a great read. Just gets you on track. It lets you know, it gives you that awareness of what social media is doing to our brains and to our attention spans. And it gives such practical, helpful tips in how to make positive changes.
Yeah.
So
Of
thanks for being on here. Miriam, thanks for being on here with me. I'm
course.
going to tag you in this live so everybody can check out our accounts. And with that, we're going to wrap up.
Okay.
All right. Thanks
Awesome.
for being
Thank you,
here.
Raga.
All right. Take
Bye.
care. Bye-bye.